Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Thursday, February 15th, and we are here answering financial questions, walking you through your different options that lay ahead of you, trying to help you marry the things that you would like to do with the financial realities on the ground. And we hope that we can make your dreams come true, but every so often I can be a bit of a dream crusher. I know. It's not that I want to crush your dreams. I just want to be a realist in the process. And I know that's why you guys like the program, because we don't mess around. We don't tell you can do something if we don't think you can, or if we think you're doing something that's not great for you, we tell you that as well. If you want to join us on the program, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and Mark Talercio, best executive producer in the world and co-host of this program, will be happy to find you and bring you onto the program. While you are on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. Mark does a great job. Every Friday it comes out. And today, Mark and I, we are joined by Jeff, who's on the line from South Carolina. So Jeff, welcome to the program, and tell us what's cooking today in that lab.
Thanks, Jill and Mark. Yeah, I'm in my lab, in my classroom in South Carolina. I'm a high school science teacher.
But, you know, sometimes I think about a high school science teacher, and you know what I think about?
Breaking Bad?
Exactly right. So there is not any meth there, right? There's nothing, as far as you know.
There's not. I actually have a back room, and that's where all my students think that I keep my meth lab.
Nice. Very good. So how long have you been a chemistry teacher?
29 years.
Wow. So what brings you to us?
Well, I'm considering my next endeavor.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
I still enjoy teaching, but I'm thinking of moving on to something different. And I want to know if I'm crazy or if it's, a doable plan.
Well, first of all, teachers should, and anyone who's like a municipal employee, huge advantage, because your next endeavor can be you could helpfully partially fund it through your pension. So how much do you earn right now as a chemistry teacher?
About $90,000.
And are you married or single?
Married.
And does your spouse work?
She does.
What does she earn?
She earns about $210,000.
Oh, I already love her. She sounds gorgeous, doesn't she, Mark? Fantastic. And do you have a certain milestone in mind where you say like 30 years and I'm out? Is that what you're kind of thinking, or what?
Not really.
Okay.
It's kind of like I've decided I would keep doing it until I don't want to anymore, because I'm already, I was going to drop this on you later, but I'm already receiving my pension.
What?
Yeah, we have such a teacher shortage in South Carolina that you can retire and start receiving your pension and double dip and also receive your salary.
Wow.
Oh, my God. So what's the pension amount?
It's about $41,000 a year, and that's with a 100% survivor benefit.
They have a shortage, and therefore they are saying to you all who are working and can work, they say, okay, grab that pension. But does that mean essentially that you are almost like a contract worker to some extent?
Yes, I am not. I'm not on what they call a continuing contract in South Carolina, because I'm an annual contract.
Okay, all right, great. Is your wife also somebody who would be entitled to a pension or not?
She is not.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about them. Besides, the beautiful pension and all this money you're making, what else is going on in your financial life? Do you have kids that we're financing? What's happening?
3 kids. One is fully launched. She just started her teaching career.
All right. She learned from daddy.
One in college, who's a junior in college.
Okay.
And one who is in the 10th grade right now.
And how are you paying for college?
529s.
How much is in the 529s right now?
Oh, I didn't write that down. So he's going to be good to go. His 529 may run out, but we actually have money in savings that's going to cover the rest.
Okay, so we're good. So the older two are set. What about the 10th grader?
She has about 30,000 in her 529, and right now her goal is to do 2 years of community college and then 2 years of state college. So if our 529 doesn't cover it, it's going to be pretty close.
Great. All right, that's awesome. Do you guys have a plan in South Carolina where if you do the community college, it's like sort of like the there's a pathway to the state schools? Because some states, they can just kind of automatically get on that path, and others you have to actually start the whole application process from scratch.
There are some To my knowledge, there are some schools here that allow that. They give a pathway. They call it like a bridge program. My son did the same thing. He's a baseball player, so he played 2 years of junior college baseball, and now he's at a 4-year school.
What position?
That was his reason for doing what he did. But yeah, we understand how the pathway works to be able to do that.
Okay. What position did he play?
He's a shortstop.
Oh, nice. How about the money you guys have saved? You're making a ton of money right now. So I know you put money into your pension. Did you also have a defined contribution plan?
Yes.
So
actually, I have two of them.
Tell me.
I've got a 403B.
Okay.
That's got about 115,000 in it.
All right.
And I have a 457 that's about 150,000.
Okay. And what about your wife? 401k?
She's got a 401k that's at 120,000. But she's also got an IRA that's funded from her previous 401ks from different employers. That's 930,000.
I love this woman.
Ding, ding, ding.
And
Just love her.
and
so
a Roth
much.
IRA that's 95,000. She has also.
Gotta tell you something. She gets better and better with every sentence.
She's making Jeff's reset all the much
Oh
easier.
yeah, like if you want to reset, all you need is a spouse who will finance it. How much do you guys need to live on?
How much do we need to live on?
No. Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
How much you guys like to live on? Not need.
Right now, we're living on probably about $12,000 a month.
Okay. And are you both maxing out your retirement accounts?
We're not maxing, but we're both contributing still.
Okay. And how old are you guys?
I'm 51. She's 52.
Okay. Does she want to keep working when you do your next endeavor, or does she want to do? Does she also want to have a next endeavor?
It depends on the day. With the company that she's with, sometimes she's ready to quit. You know, when I get home from school, she says, "All right, I'm leaving tomorrow," and then other days she says, "I'm good for another year." So,
Okay.
That's up in the air, but there may be a time in the not too distant future that she's ready to reset as well.
Do you guys have any money in cash or brokerage accounts, taxable accounts? Just because, we are now, you're only in your early 50s. So I'm just wondering if we have some money that's already been taxed.
We have some. We focused a lot on retirement. So I didn't mention I have a Roth IRA of $50,000 also.
Okay.
We have a brokerage account that's got about $45,000 in it, and we have about $50,000 in cash in savings.
Okay. So tell us about your hopeful next endeavor.
So I would like to be a financial planner.
That's fabulous. All right. The two CFPs are clapping in the background. What makes you want to do that besides the fact you love crunching numbers? Because chemists kind of dig that.
I do love crunching numbers, and I like working with people. And honestly, I feel like part of what I want to serve is teachers. I think that there's a lot of teachers that could use some financial help.
Yeah,
I already help out.
You know what they get? They get some skeevy insurance salesperson, and they end up with stuff they don't need. So you're right. They need unbiased help from a fiduciary. So
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. That's what happened to me when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, right? It's unbelievable. I don't know how these schools let these people in the door. It's crazy. So what have you done to further this dream goal?
So I have completed all the coursework for the CFP. Have not taken the test
Okay.
because I don't have any actual experience in the field, so I couldn't earn the marks until I start working in the field.
Oh,
And I've worked with a lot of my colleagues, just kind of like, helping them with their finances. But I'm ready to, I guess, go the next step.
All right. Now, Mark's going to give you this
Really?
advice because I have not been in practice for so long that it's crazy. I mean, I got my CFP in like 1994, I think, or 6. That's a long time ago.
That's when the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. 30,
Shut up.
30
I hate
years.
you. I hate you right now.
30 years.
Did I say 94? I meant 96. But that said, Mark went through this process. By the way, Mark did this behind my back. First, when did you start doing that?
I started taking the coursework in 2017.
So he was media guy who was doing this show with me. We got put together in 2011.
2011.
And so he was working at CBS. I was working at CBS. The powers that be at the radio network put us together. We fell in love. It's been love ever since. We started a radio show, a podcast now. Okay. But then all of a sudden, he's telling me he's going to do the CFP. And I said, what are you, nuts? Why would you do that? And so, Mark, why did you do it?
Because I became obsessed with personal finance.
Yeah. He's like listening to me dole out this advice.
In 2011, I knew nothing. I would go to Jill once a year and say, here's my 401k. What should I be doing with it? And then over the years, I started learning, listening. I was actually listening to Jill, and I just got obsessed with it, and I love it. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see if I can. It was really, I just wanted to see if I could do it and pass the exam.
You can try to find a financial planning firm where you can get some of that experience. Mark, do you think you should take the test now, though?
Well, I was going to ask this a couple minutes ago. When did you finish your coursework?
About a month ago.
All right, so it's obviously still fresh in your mind. Yeah, I wouldn't wait.
I wouldn't either. I mean, you got this information right now. It stinks to study for that exam. That was a hard exam.
Yeah, let me say this. The coursework really, it helps, but that's not what's going to help you pass the exam. What's going to help you pass the exam is taking a in-depth review course from one of the many providers out there. It's like a 2 or 3 month review course.
By the way, I did self-study. I just did it myself because I was working full-time. And if you're motivated, that can work. I think the most important thing to do is just keep taking practice tests.
Yes.
Over and over
Absolutely.
and over again.
And nowadays, there's some really good providers out there where they'll give you the mock exams. They'll tell you, this is what you need to be hitting. This is, you're scoring low in this area. You need to focus on that area. That's what you really need to do before you take the exam is take one of the review courses.
And I think doing it now would be better also. It's the material's fresh in your mind.
You don't want to wait.
And so then the question is, where are we going to get you the experience? So tell me, have you investigated, Jeff, planners in your neighborhood area? What do you got?
I've spoken to a few.
What do they say?
I've asked them about setting up a practice. Honestly, the reason I did the CFP coursework was just to get the book knowledge of financial planning more so than as necessarily earning the marks. Kind of like Mark, I became obsessed about 10 or 12 years ago with personal finance. And so I figured even if I don't change careers, having gone through all the CFP courses, I really understand personal finance a lot better now. And so, yes, I've talked to a few people, but not specifically about CFP, just about how they structure their practice. And because I'm thinking of, starting my own business. So
what is it that you want to know from us at this point?
Am I crazy to want to do this?
No, you're not crazy. But but what I really want to know is if you want to do this, if you want to do it off the side of your desk and keep working for as long as you can work, obviously that's easy enough. But you got, let's see, 1 million, 1, 2, 3, 1.4 million. You got $1.4 million. And
the pension.
And the pension will keep you. And what's your Social Security look like in the future for the two of you?
At full retirement age, about $37,000 for me.
Mm-hmm. And
$45,000 for my wife.
45?
Yes.
See, she's so much better than you are. It's amazing. I really like her a lot. So you have 37, 45, and 41. Do you have a COLA on your pension or not?
Sort of. It's South Carolina, so there's a slight. I don't know if I would call it a COLA, but there's a slight adjustment that'll happen after I've been receiving it for 2 years.
If you make it to your full retirement age, you got a lot of the money, right? So you have 123 grand, you need 12 grand a month. So you got plenty of time to do that. The real question is whether you would stop earning your 90 grand a year and start to full time really pursue the next endeavor. And I think you can do it. I think the question is really kind of how that makes your wife feel, because I don't want her to feel like she has to keep making 200 grand a year. So, could the two of you, in the next few years, figure out a way to squirrel away some cash and then also maybe make a smaller amount of money? So you'd have your pension. But let's say between the two of you, that you would have your pension, and then you've got your little, you got your RIA, which will make $5 in the beginning, but let's say 30 grand, and she can do something making 60 grand. If you can do that, and we build up some money in your brokerage and your cash account, then I think you can absolutely do it. It's not a pipe dream. It really isn't. But I think that you guys have to have a real conversation about whether you would be willing to give up that 90 grand a year. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, my initial thought was that I would start doing it. Teachers are very familiar with having side gigs.
Yep.
And so I thought I would start it as a side job just to see if there's enough demand to make it a viable, sole income producing profession for me.
Well,
and
wait a
then
minute. Wait a
if I
minute.
see that it's going to work, then
Hold
I would
on.
do it.
I have an idea. I just had a brainstorm. What if you went to one of the CFP firms and said, I want to do this off the side of my desk. I want to bring you the business. I retain the interest in this business. This helps me satisfy my commitment for my work requirement in the industry. And that way you're bringing, look, what does every CFP or registered investment advisory firm want? What they want is someone who can bring money in the door. So if you cut a deal with somebody and say, you got to teach me how to do this, or I want to own a piece. This is the beginning of my book of business. I want to retain interest in that book. It's my book to take with me or not. But for the next 3 years, while I get my work requirements, you guys can, we can split the money. And then you get your work experience. And 3 years from now, you can start your own shop. What do you think of that?
I like that. And there's a couple of teachers turned financial planners that I've talked to along the way.
Yeah.
And one of them had mentioned that as a possibility that he might consider, because he has already brought one other person on, and he mentioned that as a possibility. He said he wasn't sure that would happen, but that may be something I would explore with him.
I would definitely explore. I think it's hard to do it on your own, by the way. Even if you know how to do financial planning, the business of being a financial planner is different. Okay, it really is. Like, there are times where someone is going to need to say to you, like, oh, well, wait a minute. You need like compliance. You need a lawyer. You need to make sure we're doing this. This is what you say. This is what you don't say. This is, all of those things that seem like boring back office things are the things that get people in trouble. So we want to make sure that you have a structure under which you can operate and, not put those beautiful 3 letters at risk, right?
Right.
So I think it's a great idea. I do love it. I think that you guys have to be, you don't spend so much money. I do think that I would probably pull back on the amount of money they're putting into retirement. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I agree, because they're only in their 50s, so they can't really access any of that money right now, and they don't have a lot of accessible cash. So that would be my priority.
Yeah. So maybe just put money up to the match for your wife, if she has one, and start pouring money into your brokerage account and cash account, and let that kind of be the basis. And maybe we wait to see, I don't know, like what you want to start this, but maybe that you want to get the 10th grader out of the house. I don't know, or not. But, it seems to me that there's a lot of things that are very doable for you. We just want to give you flexibility. If there's something going on in your life that will impact your money or your finance in some way, and you're feeling a little unsure about whether or not you're on the right track, we'd love to hear from you. Just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. If you wish to appear with us live, just check the appropriate box, and Mark does everything else. Speaking of Mark, he is the co-host and executive producer and the king of all things web. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, and we would love it if you could leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. Try to lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.